welcome in everybody. I'm in a new event today. It's called the Junk Journal Jamboree. And we're doing 50s. Well, I'm doing 50s. Because we could pick any era that we wanted to. So before me was Becky's Whimsy. And I hope that you guys got a chance to see her. Up after me,
alright you guys.
Up after me will be our hostess, Miss Jimmy Lou, with the Messy Craft Corner. So I am just trying to find myself so I can get myself shared out. Hey, thank you there, Miss Jimmy Lou. Hi, Miss Mary. Hello, hello. So this is a new event for me. I don't think I've been in this one before. I know I've done the memory decks before, but I don't think I've done the Junk Journal Jamboree. Or maybe I have. And if I did, it was a long time ago. A long time ago. Okay. Make sure that I get myself out on my thing, because I'm on earlier than I normally am, so I'm making sure that I get myself everywhere. Hello there, Miss Karen. I am doing well, thank you. How about yourself? I hope you are doing well. So, like I said, today I'm in the Junk Journal Jamboree, and the theme was decade. So like we could pick a decade. Now I'm coming in late. This is, well, I'm not coming in late because it is August, September, October. Yeah, I think that is right. So I'm actually okay. I think we only have next month. Anyways, I'm gonna do the best that I can. Hey there, Miss Becky. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Fancy Nancy. Hello, Miss Nancy. How are you doing, dear? Thank you for giving me a follow, dear. I will make sure to come and give you a follow back. I love finding new creators to be inspired by, so thank you so much for that. Alright. So, I tried to do like the 50s, but I'm going with my all-time favorite. I'm doing Halloween. So I'm doing you know, like I try to stay like vintage, like so in the 1950s. Oh, thank you, Miss Karen. You're too kind, dear. So we do have like I said, I found this kit. It's actually two different kits that I ended up mashing up, and I love the imaging of like the old candy and stuff, but I was inspired by Miss Mandy. How are you doing, my sweet sister? Thank you for being here. I was inspired by this paper pad that I found at Michael's, and it's called Vintage Spirits, and it is the vintage Halloween, and I was like, oh my god, I so have to do that this year. And then as I thought about it, look, I haven't even opened it yet. I literally just got it. So I was like, oh, wait a second, we've got to do a period journal. I'm like, I'm going to do my Halloween journal in the Jamboree. That's what I'm going to be working on. Hello, my sweet Susan. How are you? So, it's Susan's fault, y'all, that I'm here. Okay, it's my sweet Sue. She messaged me and was like, you have to get onto the Junk Jamboree. You have to get in. So I was like, okay. There's two versions of this paper pad. This is the 12 by 12. The 12 by 12 is cardstock and has foil. There's an 8.5 by 11 that is paper. So you can get either or. I went with the 12 by 12 cardstock because I was like, I'll probably end up using it more for like covering, for like covers and stuff. Hi there, Miss Jill. But it is absolutely super gorgeous, and I absolutely think that the kits I was able to find on Etsy match it perfectly. So yeah, I love the cat. Oh my gosh, y'all. You know, you guys know I'm a cat person, so yeah. So I went ahead and printed my stuff off. We do have, you know, a few different months. Hello there, Miss Deborah. Thank you for hopping on. So this is actually to make a folio, but I'm going to use it. Yeah, exactly. Just blame Subi. It's her fault. It's all her fault. So this is supposed to be like a folio, but I'm going to use it inside of my journal. Okay, so I ended up printing it out, and I do print stuff one-sided, guys. Just if you've never seen me before, I do print my papers one-sided because I don't always like to cover up the beautiful images. So I give myself the back side to attach pockets, to do journaling, and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of different, look at how fun these ones are. Like, you've gotta love, like, you know, the vintagey looking lady dressed up. Look at these kids. So I've actually seen these on postcards. They're super, super cute. So, yeah. Yeah, I love my Sue, and she knows it. So, again, some more of that candy advertisement. So we're just gonna start, we're actually kind of gonna work backwards because we're gonna work with some of the decor stuff, and then we'll do my cover. Okay, so it's gonna be a little bit backwards, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I'm just gonna get my cutter out, and now I can start trimming things and show you guys what I'm thinking of doing with some of these. So I absolutely love this cutter, other than it does not have a I know, I love you so much, Miss Sue. Miss Sue is always in my events. She is so sweet and special. So is Miss Mandy, for that matter. So I'm very grateful to have wonderful, supportive ladies around me. Miss Jimmy Lou's popped in a time or two, and I truly appreciate that. And I hope you get to feeling better, Miss Jimmy Lou, because ouchie. Miss Becky, you were talking about, you know, the struggles after your stroke, and for one, I want you to know that you will be on my prayer list now. And for two, I completely understand. Okay? The cutter is amazing. How are you doing, my Carla? The cutter is amazing, isn't it? What I love the most is the fact that I can change the blades to different designs. I'll cut that later. But I understand what you were talking about with, like, you know, my husband had a stroke June 7th, and understanding his new normal is hard, and it's hard for him. So I understand, like, the changes and, you know, trying to adjust life to it. You know, you still want to do the things you love, but, you know, there's going to be some struggles to it now. Oh, I did. I saw you. Hello. I'm picking up a brand new cutter from Facebook Marketplace on Thursday. Oh my gosh. Wow, that is awesome. That's a good deal, my friend. I'm glad that you found that. Cause yeah, this one cost me a pretty penny, but you know, for as much as I use my cutter, I was like, you know what, I'll definitely do that. Hey, Miss Brandy. Congratulations on your daughter going off to college. I remember when my oldest did that. That was, I remember doing that first day pick college version too. So, and I just saw the mom of one of my students that graduated this year posting her picture of her set up in the dorm and stuff, and it's like, you know, because I've had that girl for so long. It's just, you know, they become like your kids. I was not ignoring you. I just looked up and saw where you said the cutter is amazing. That was literally it. I didn't see anything before that. But then again, the messages are kind of going past a little bit fast. Miss Carla, you know I would not ignore you at all. Like, that hurt. I love my old style guillotine. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, guillotines are good. Well, okay. So I purchased a special guillotine to it literally, I use it to dismember books. Because it is made for very, very large quantities, and it is specifically for that. So I have that. It sits right next to my laser. It's also really good for cutting chipboard and things. It is super smooth. It's not hard or anything. It's a heavy piece of machinery, but so worth it. And it has a mechanism for you to like put everything in tight so nothing moves on you. Because the problem with guillotines is that the moment you start doing this, everything starts shifting on you. So, all is well in the kingdom. You're so goofy. You're so goofy, Miss Carla. Alright, now, I lost the blade to this one. I've used my We Are Memory Keeper like forever, but the blade keeps popping off, which aggravates the heck out of me. But it's my scoring board, so we're gonna use it to score. But yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about my other cutter is I don't have a scoring board. That's the only thing. Technically, there is a score blade on it, but I'm just gonna use my scoreboard for right now. Yeah, the shifting was always the biggest issues that I've always had with a guillotine. So, like, I have a regular guillotine, but I really don't use it. I need to sell it. Because it's still in the box. Yeah, because were you on the live when I closed it and I went to go put it over here? So right next to my desk, I have a small shelf that has like one of those pot holder things, and I put my boards there. It holds them. And I went to go put it, and it popped off and landed in my pile of doom. And I have no clue where that's at. So I don't know where that ended up. Okay, so this is supposed to be the folio, but remember, we're not going to use it as the folio. I actually want to use it this way. So of course now I gotta make sure, because these I didn't cut them like right exact or something. Something's off. Yeah, one of them is off. La dee la da da. Aw, girl, you keep on spoiling me for my birthday. Thank you. I do appreciate it though. But yeah, that was hilarious. I was like, well, I'm not finding that blade anytime soon. 'Cause, for real, this pile of doom is no joke. Anybody else have a pile of doom? Like, if something ends up there, like, you have no clue what, when you're gonna find it again. Especially something that small. Yeah, a pile of doom. Because if it ends up over there, it's hard for me to find stuff. Oh, Miss Nancy, send me a message and I can send you the link to the one that I purchased, because it's also used, like you said, to make like notepads and stationery and things. And I've loved it. I got it off of Amazon, but I've absolutely loved it. So, obviously this is too white. We know that. So I'm going to cover this with some of the paper out of this pad. And since the design is pumpkin, what about if we go with pumpkin? The older we are, memory creamer. Yes. Yes. That's the one. Yeah, I think I like that paper. I know I'm going to end up having to get another one of this for sure. I know that because I love this paper pad, so I'm going to have to get another one. And I got it with my birthday 40% off coupon. Y'all, I've been using my birthday rewards, let me tell you. You're building a down east. What's a down east journal? Now I'm gonna have to see this because that's interesting. What is a down east journal? Wait a second. You went with your sisters up to Maine, so that's not down. That's up. That's up north. I think you got that one mixed up, my dear. Let me go ahead and cut this up. I had a wonderful birthday. I got to go the day before because my oldest son was off the day before, so I got to go have lunch with him. He took me to a revolving sushi restaurant down East Maine. Okay, now that makes sense. Now that makes sense. So that was really nice. And then my daughter bought us bubble tea as her treat You know, my daughter just started working and she only works part-time, so, you know, but that was very sweet of her. And then my actual birthday, I just spent it here at home, nice and quiet. Really can't do a whole lot because hubby just went back to work, and with him being out of work for 3 months due to the stroke, finances are not the best right now. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm not complaining, it's all good. He did take me out. We went and had our breakfast because we hadn't gone out for our breakfast at Waffle House like we normally do in a while. So we did go do that. And I was happy for that. I got to go do that with Gare. And then Caroline and me have been hitting up those birthday rewards that you get for signing up to like all the different fast food places or things of that nature. So we've been doing that. She did bring home a carrot cake from work Sunday, and we had that, so that was nice. And then my son, the one he's actually currently in California because the Marine team that he's attached to is doing some kind of special op training there. So he had to come stateside because if not, he's over in Okinawa, Japan. And he finally gave me a quick call and messaged on my birthday that night, and he was like, "I'm so sorry, Mom, it's so late. I've been super busy." And I told Caroline afterwards, my daughter, I was like, "You got onto your brother, right?" Because she had asked me if Easy had messaged me. And I was like, "No, he hasn't yet, but I'm sure he's busy." Next thing I know, I hear her in her room on the phone. She called her brother. Well, he's out in the field, and literally she told me when I asked her and questioned her about calling him, you know, to get on to him about not saying happy birthday to me. She's like, "Yeah, he was in the middle of getting coordinates for where he had to go and get somebody." So I'm like, "Girl, the boy's busy. He's trying to work." So for those who don't know, my middle son is in the Navy, and he is a corpsman. So he's the doc. And so he is a field medic. He wanted to be out in the field. So if the Marines move, he goes with them. He said he didn't want to be stuck on a ship. Or at boot camp handing out shots and aspirins, he said. I was like, "Okay, child. That's fine." So I was very, you know, it is sad not to have them around because normally I go have lunch or dinner with all three of them. So it is hard with him not being around, but I'm blessed and honored that he chose the career that he chose. And like he said, he chose to go in as a medic because he wanted to save lives and not take lives. So, not that he's not trained to fight, because he is. So this is going to get glued in on one of my pages. And of course, it's vintage, so we have to grunge this up. And I'm just going to use my ink for this. And if you guys want the links to these, they're on Etsy, but if you want the links, just message me and I'll gladly share them with you. They actually, the store was actually running a sale, so they weren't that expensive. He is doing an awesome service to our country. I'm so proud of all your kiddos. I am very proud of all of my kiddos. They are just, they're just amazing. I am very, very proud. You know, my daughter asked me the other day if, you know, if she was kind of like behind because she you know, never dated anybody. I was like, no. I'm like, you're perfectly fine where you're at. Like you each have grown in your own way. And I told her, I was like, I'm actually very happy that you have had the chance to find yourself before having the pressure of, you know, being in a relationship and stuff. I was like, yeah, if you would have gone to a traditional school, you probably would have felt that and would have felt the need to maybe try, and you know, you're still trying to figure yourself out. So I'm actually very, very grateful that I was able to homeschool so that she had the opportunity to take things at her own pace. So obviously we use ink to cover up our boo-boos. There's a little bit of white showing. My friend Yadi says that all the time, that, you know, we use ink to cover up our boo-boos. That's what I told her. The reason why the whole thing came up was because some guy, she's had a few guys like say something to her at work, and she's like, I'm just not interested, mama. And I'm like, well, that's fine. And you just say that. You know, you're not interested. It's not what you're looking for at this point. And there's nothing wrong with that. No, like I told her, I'm very grateful that, you know, everybody is where they're at. I mean, my oldest has his own place now. He's moved in with his girlfriend. Well, he's not moved in. They've both got a place, so they have their own little house now. You know, he's been working hard towards that. He's working towards becoming an assistant store manager now, because he wants to move up, because he says with, you know, a house and there's the responsibilities, and he wants to continue to move up so that one day he can allow his wife that if she wants to be able to stay home as a stay-at-home mom, that he can offer that to his partner. And I was like, that is awesome of you. So he's working on that. He's exploring the world and enjoying what he does as a corpsman. And Caroline is just enjoying life. That is what, you know? That's what yeah, God will place the right person, and that's, you know, I'm like, you know, she's like, I'm just not attracted to any of the, I'm like, that's fine. I was like, you will know when you're attracted to someone, believe me. Yeah, I'm like, you know, you will definitely know that. I was like, there will not be any questioning of it. And if you're not interested, you're not interested. And you just, you know, let them know. You don't mind, you know, friendships and things of that nature, but no, you don't want anything romantic. So, but I'm very, very proud of all of my babies. God has blessed me with some very good kids. Alright, so now in here I do want to make some pockets. Alright, so that when this opens up, yes, we do see our vintage jack, but I do want us to have some pockets over here. So, let me see, what do we have in the ephemera department that we could possibly use. Ooh, I just saw something I want to use. No worries, Sweet Sue. I hope you are doing well. I love your journal. That 50s style kitchen is so cute. I do like that idea. So I'm actually going to use this beware sign to help as a closure. I'll show you guys here in a second what I'm going to do with it, okay? Yeah, it was super cool. I guess we could use... I have orange tickets. I was like, oh, I saw those and I'm like, wait a second, I have orange tickets. I could cut that down and that could be like a little pocket. That'd be kind of cool. Trying to see, because I keep my I have my stuff right behind me and I have it sorted by color. That way I can find little things for ephemera and stuff. Stickers, tags, that kind of things, I can find them. Oh, that's too orange. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use one of these tickets and I'm just gonna trim it down and that way it'll be a pocket. I'm gonna do that. Alright, let's... The Indiana Ticket Company, it says. Actually, why don't we make it a belly band? So we'll make it a belly band, and that way we can tuck something into it. So when you do a belly band, you're just gonna put glue on the edges, a very small little bit of glue, and that way the middle is open, which allows you to have the space to slide something in. Now I'm not gonna tuck anything in just yet because I want that glue to like really sit. We could do the same on the other side, but let's try something else. Let's do something a little bit different for the other side. know that I have any vintage lace that would work, but we're gonna check it. So I'm gonna pull my box of vintage lace. I could cut a piece of this one, which is a piece that I've coffee dyed, and so we can turn this into a pocket. Could do that. Oh, there we go. That'll look good. Okay. So because it is lace, I am going to just use, and with pockets we put 3 sides of glue, leaving the top open, and then we're going to bring it in like that. Alright, now I'm going to let this dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to trim it. But what I'm thinking is, because it is so exposed, here, I'm going to actually put a little bit of glue going around. Yup, your buddy Jamie's here. How is Cubby? Y'all, we have these adorable crafty kitties between Fluffy and Cubby and my Miri. Who love to come and hang out with us while we're in our craft rooms. Don't they? I need to get a new lighter. I know at one point we talked about doing a craft room like animal calendar, because I know some have doggies. It's not just the kitty cats. Oh, you were? See? And she's got Tanner now. How did he act? Was he being a helpful little crafty partner? Yeah, I agree. We still need to do that. I might get you guys to... I might put that together. Get y'all to submit your babies. No, I do not. I have 7. I don't have 12. And no, I would not put all of them on there. Just the ones that are in the craft room. That's the thing. They have to be craft room buddies. That will be the criteria. Like, the picture has to show them in your craft room. found everything on the floor that he could eat. Well, that is a puppy for you, right? That is a puppy for you. And I'm not going to say anything because my cats will do the same thing. They will scavenge your, like, we got to watch them, especially in the kitchen, because, oh yeah, they look to see if they can get any scraps off the floor. And I'm trying to teach the new one not to do that. But, you know, she's still little, so we're trying. It's a work in progress. Hello there. Welcome in, Cozy Craft Boom. How are you? Forgive me if I don't remember your name, dear. And, hi there, Jeannie. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so remember how I said let's use this to close it up, right? So we can glue it on one side to where when we close it, it'll be our closure. Yes, it is. I thought the floor was clean. No. Even when we think the floor is clean, they are going to find something. See, this is why I can't do glitter. Because I will think that it's clean. And then next thing I know, Miri would be sparkling in some kind of color. And you know, my fear is she goes to cleaning herself and ends up with stuff all on her. Okay, so we're just going to glue this down. I thought a bonus for a dog was to eat the scraps of food, not of fabric or lace or something of that nature. Where did my pin go to? Oh, here it is. Yeah, no, not that kind of scraps. Wrong scraps. I don't know. My cats try to eat up stuff. And the problem is that the one that tries to do that, she's the one with the tummy issues. So she's the one that will throw up. And it's like, you throw up with, you're so picky with food. You know? I'm like, you're so picky with the food that you eat. And then you're gonna go try and eat whatever you can find on the kitchen floor. Like, come on now. Alright, so I'm gonna stand this up just because I want to make sure that I do get it where I put the glue. Ah, and I put it too low. I put it low. Don't want it that low. Yes, the food, not the crafts. Yeah, because that would be dangerous, right? Actually, maybe it needed to be further down. Can I pull you off? Okay, I can put something there. We can tuck something on there. That's not an issue. And I'm going to end up putting this on the inside of one of my pages. Or if you wanted to, you could put this like on the inside of the cover. You know, anything like that would work, really. Yeah. It'll be alright. It'll hold it down for as much as I need it to hold it down. Okay. So, like I said, this is why I like to print my pages single-sided, so then I can come in and I can add things and not worry about covering up, you know, like if I were to add this here, like I would cover this up and I would feel pretty bad about covering up that page. But I can put this on this side and not feel so bad. And it actually, you know, kind of helps to fill in the gap. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So just, and these are printed 8.5 by 11 sheets, just in case if somebody was wondering. And so we're going to add this right here, and then this gives us an interactive little piece in our journal. Okay, and again we're going to try and see if this will work for me, because I don't know if it's that I'm running low on the glue or what, but it's being special. Make sure we don't see any white, right? Because that's the biggest reason why we do this, is we don't want to see white. Make sure my paper's the right way before I put it down. Yes, you are correct about that. We should always make sure our paper is the right way. Would not be the first time. Right, Miss Sue? Would not be the first time. And it probably may not be the last. And you know what? That's just comes with the territory. So that's all. It's okay, you know. Mistakes are bound to happen in life and in crafting. It's all about what you do afterwards. And I print my papers on resume paper that I normally am able to find at thrift stores. I like it because it's a linen paper, so it has a little more durability to it, I feel. Now the biggest thing is if this thing is straight. Okay. Trying to make sure it's somewhat straight, you know. So, but that is one of our little interactive pieces that we have. Okay. So that way when we go to open it, we'll have this right here. Okay. So like we had this cute little neat trick for quick treat. So I'm gonna add this into our pocket since it was one of our little ephemera pieces. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, we will I will be continuing to work on my journal, and I am in next month and we're working on our journal, so be sure to come and see us back in September. So see, that tucks in there really cute like that. And so this is one of my pages. Now one of the other things that we cut out, which I want to show you guys what I want to plan on doing with this one, but I need to find the right page for it. So, I don't like how that looks. That looks very promising. I feel like that might be a little too dark. Those are not going to work because I'll end up covering the stuff. No, too much orange. That's probably going to be in the middle. I don't know yet. So while I don't always like to cover, but because some of these are more of a pattern, I want to show you guys what I like to do when I have a pattern. So again, I'm going to take my page, I'm going to fold it in half. My bone folder. This way I know where my middle is and I can work with it, okay? We need to know where our middle is. Alright, so there was a little bit of white here, and I was okay with leaving a little bit of white because what we're going to do is we're going to make a flip. Okay, so you can, and many times when you are actually cutting out your ephemera from printables like this, you know, if you want to turn some of these into pockets, you know, leave the extra white around, because then it gives you the spot to tuck and you don't have to actually glue right there. In this case, I could have left white. I don't know why I didn't. But I'm going to come in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to score, and I'm going to give myself a little fold. That is what I'm going to flip on. So I know that that requires some ahead thinking, maybe, if you need to think about it that way, but this way we can flip, okay? Obviously, if you have a little bit more, it's a little bit better, but it'll be fine. Now, I don't like pointy corners. Whenever possible, I am going to round it. And a lot of it goes back to because I tend to give myself paper cuts a lot. I am, I guess maybe a little accident prone. I don't know. Okay. I don't even know why I'm doing that just yet. Because where did my book go to? So I have this little pad that I found again at a thrift store, and it's just a writing pad, like for when you're starting to write, with all the but it's older, so the pages are darker, which I really like. We're going to glue this on here and give us a little like writing space. Okay, so that is what we're going to do. We are going to give ourselves a little writing space. So make sure that you guys stay tuned, because up after me is our hostess, Miss Jimmy Lou with the Messy Craft Corner. So make sure that you stick around to see what she is working on. And like I said, come back and watch all of the creators, and then catch us on our lives as we work through our journals. And then be sure to tune back next month for when we continue and show you more. And I plan to work some more on this. Okay. So I'm just going to try to make sure that this is as straight as possible, which, you know, that's hard to do sometimes, but that's okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for letting me join. And yep, we are going to go see you next, Miss Jimmy Lou. And we have still several more presenters for the day. So make sure that you stick around to see everybody. Now we're just going to trim this down. And you can do this depending on the size. You could use music paper sheets, you can use index cards, you know, that way you can give yourself little writing spaces, or whoever ends up getting your journal has writing spaces. Now, I'm not a journaler. I love to make journals, I love to decorate journals. I think I enjoy actually more making them than anything else. Like the building of the book, that's like what I really like to do. The constructions of them. That's my favorite part for sure. And just inking up my edge again, because you know this is vintage, so you know 1950s, it's been around for a while. We want to make sure that we're showing that patina and aging. I'm going to fold and get some ink on that fold as well. So make sure that you are following us along. You can find the group, which is the Junk Journal Jamboree, and that way you can see all of the presenters in one spot. And you can also see like the Member Decks event, things of that nature. So make sure you stick around. Yeah, I do. The construction of them, it's like when I came up with like the coffin journal, the gate journal, the apothecary journal, like that is my thing. The actual like building of them and coming up with the designs and stuff, like that's what I really love to do. I really like that. I like to see how much I can push that boundary. Alright, so I'm going to put this down here so that it can be a flip, and we still have space up here to add something if we want to. Okay, you could also add the flip up here and put maybe a pocket down here. I mean, that's totally up to you. Totally up to you. And my time is up, so I want to make sure that I thank you again for being here. I hope you guys like the idea of taking a folio and making it part of a journal, not something separate, and that you like this idea of this vintage Halloween. Please go and see Miss Jimmy Lou. Again, we will be working on this together for a while. If you want the links to anything, just message me and I will make sure to get those to you. I love you guys, and until I see you again, ciao!